All right, guys, looks like we're recording. Stay. All right, guys, come on, let's go. All right, guys, we're out here real early in the morning. You know, somebody got to get my glasses because I gotta see. Tell you what, you're getting to the point you can't see far away. Just in case I take them off the leash, I kind of let them run, walk a little bit off the leash. It gets more steps. Well, I tell you what, man. When you're running a business, it's something I had to think about, guys. When you're running a business, you're thinking about that business all day, every day. So a lot of people think that, you know, if you're the owner or something like that, if you're the one that's, for the most part, making decisions, or you the CEO, or you the person that's in charge for the most part, they think that's easy, man. Oh man, you ain't got to do much. Like, you get to call the shots. No, man, you got a lot of stuff to juggle in your head. And one thing that you're juggling in your head is you got to make sure you make a profit. That's the major thing. You got to make sure that you're producing a profit at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter what business that you're in, man. If you know, like I just so happen to be in construction, but that business, it has to make money at the end of the day. So my job is to make sure that the business is producing a profit, so it's not losing. And when you're building, guys, if you are a home builder, there are just so many places, so many avenues to lose money. Just like this one job I'm doing, to hit rock and stuff. So now at this point, I'm vulnerable. I'm left up to the devices of the guys over there moving the rock and doing the excavation. And that's why, you know, the foundation, that's why a lot of builders, man, they don't like, a lot of the production guys don't like to deal with basements. And, you know, unless they own the whole neighborhood. If they own the whole neighborhood, then a lot of and they own the, you know, they kind of pretty much control the real estate, the marketing of it, or they have their own real estate team. See, they can take losses in those to compensate or balance out what they'll lose if they run into a bad basement. But you're at the devices, you're left up to the devices of those guys out there working, and you don't want to leave anything up to those subcontractors. Subcontractors don't have long-term, well, not all of them, guys, but most subcontractors, well, they don't have to. They're not gonna have the long-term vision of a project. They go in and they do their one little thing, well, I shouldn't say little, there is. They do their one thing, and when they get finished with their one thing, they go to the next job. So they don't have to be there they don't have to deal with the homeowners. They don't have to deal with warranties. None of that stuff has to resonate with that subcontractor. And that's why I tell my guys that the best way to get into the construction game is not to be trying to be a builder. You know, everybody can't be the chief and stuff like that. The best way to get into the construction game is to be a subcontractor. And you get you one or two trades and master them trades and start producing profit on those one or two trades. And then once you do that, then you may want to build up to maybe do 4 trades. And then you can get into the home building. Then you can be the general contractor. Because it's a lot of work, man, as a builder, man. The builder has to, you know, if you're a custom builder, especially if you're dealing with them homeowners, man, it's a lot of work. And then you're dealing with some subcontractors, man. I mean, I tell you what, man, we got this one guy. I'm finna go on a tangent now, man. We got this one guy, you know. Well, I'm not gonna go in on him today. But you gotta watch those subcontractors, man. You gotta watch them. You can't let them slow you down. You know, now some of them, one of the guys you really gotta watch, and you really gotta make sure that you got these guys have gotta be the best of the best, is your mechanical, electrical, and plumbers. Because once you start with those guys, you're stuck with them until you're finished, for the most part. Now, if you gotta run one of them guys off, if they get in there and they do the roughs or something like that, and you gotta run one of them off and hire somebody else, you done got yourself in a bind. Because number one, if they do the roughs for you and they don't do the final, the new guy that you bring in there is not gonna wanna warranty his stuff because he don't know what happened behind the wall. So that's an easy job for him. Come back up. Yeah, that's a, come on. Yeah, that's easy, come on. Yeah, that's an easy job for that guy. So he'll get the job, the guy that come in behind somebody, he get the job and he has no accountability of making sure everything works properly. So you gotta be careful with those things, guys. But it's hard, man, out here, you know, juggling subcontractors, man, because those guys are living day to day. So being a business owner and trying to run the show, man, it is not easy, man. I mean, a lot of people want to make it seem like, you know, oh man, you living a good life. No, man, I be stressed out. So I have more stress than anybody else. And so we got to figure that out. And we just had to, I don't know, I was talking to some students last night and they were talking about how, you know, Trump and all this stuff that's going on. And I don't know why people, and it just, I don't understand it, man. Maybe it was just the way I was raised. I don't understand how can people be so wrapped up in the politics of this country. And how is that stopping you from eating? You know, if you allow government, and I don't have a problem with Donald Trump because I don't, you know, matter of fact, I think everything that the guy say, man, makes sense to me. But even still, anytime you are sitting around and you're saying that these guys are doing this, that, and the other, and they're hurting us from doing this, that, and the other, you have just given that person power over you. I refuse to give government or anybody power over me and my family. I don't care who the president is. My job is to go out here and figure out how to make money and how to support my family. How to go hunt down the woolly mammoth. That's my job. By the time those guys' policies make it to me, they make it to the point to where it really affects me, they finna change guards. They finna change you president in, you know. So we have, and I was telling those guys, we have to quit being focused on that stuff, man. That stuff is just a distraction. It's distracting you guys from getting out here and making things happen. You know, then we also got into the feminism thing. We talked about feminism. I had a couple of ladies that are in my class, and you know, we were just talking about the effects of feminism. And now I'll be honest with you guys, if you look at first, second, third, we may be even entering a fourth wave of feminism. That has really changed it. Come back here, come back here. That has really changed the dynamics of this country. It has reversed come on, hey, come on, this way. It has reversed the family dynamics. Bow, get here. This dog is, I gotta put that shot collar back on him. because he getting hard-headed. His nose is just pulling him everywhere. Get back here! Get back here! Come back here! Come here! Come back here! So go over there and pop him on it. Come here! Get back over. You don't know how to act, buddy. But feminism has really reversed, it has really reversed the entire dynamics of the family. It has flipped everything upside down, inside out. And then the court systems have come. He was talking about the court system, and he was saying that, how is it that the court systems, why does the court system kind of favor women more so than anybody else? But I get it, man. I get it. I understand the court systems and stuff like that and why they used to do what they did, because, some men, not necessarily in the African-American community, but a lot of the men would have families. And when they get tired of one wife, some of these wives didn't have any way of providing for themselves. They didn't have jobs and stuff like that. So they kind of stayed at home and took care of the kids. And back in the day, some of these men would trade up. They'd trade their wife in. They'll divorce them, leave them with nothing, and they'll go find a younger version of her and stuff. Now, she didn't waste all her life and all her time raising his kids. And, to me, to a degree, that's not fair. So that's kind of why the court system kind of started leaning heavily toward the women. Now, a lot of women have their own jobs and they can do their own thing. And the pendulum is still over there favoring the women. And that's what he was talking about. So, guys, but feminism has really twisted this country upside down. They call it the Western culture. And it's making things different. So what ended up happening was the women went out here due to, especially in the black community, they went out here and they got jobs and they make just as much as everybody else. But when they went out here and got jobs, guys, what that did, by women going out here flooding the workplace as well, guys, you guys can take this any kind of way you want to take it. But when they went out and flooded the workplace, what ended up happening was they reduced the cost of labor. So the women out here working and the men, see, at one time the men were out here working, so labor, so it's supply and demand. The more you have of something, the cheaper it's gonna be. If I got something that's plentiful, the demand is gonna be less, so it's gonna pay less. So when you had men out here, they made enough money, and the workplace was not flooded with women as well, so the men made more money. The labor cost was up. The cost of labor was high. When women came in and they flooded the workplace, they decreased the cost of labor. When the cost of labor went down, that made it where the amount of money that the man and the woman make is just not enough to handle all the bills. And then you had inflation and all those things coupled on top of that. So it makes it where now both people have to go out and work in order to sustain a household. So now, if you got the woman out here working, so she's out here working, she's doing her thing. She's not at the house like they used to and putting morals and things like that inside of the kids. It just made it a mess, man. So our kids are growing up, we trust the school system to teach them, and that is a recipe for disaster. And guys, I taught in the school system, man. I know that it's just not set up like that. The school system is a nightmare, especially inner city school. It's top heavy. You got a lot of A lot of the guys, you know, no one wants to be in the classroom. You talk to most teachers, they're going to get their degrees so that they can go work at the board, get out the classroom. They don't like being around them kids. Stressful for them. They don't want to be around them. Most of the kids are coming from single parent household. They kind of hard to deal with because they overly emotional. Guys, it's a mess. And you know, the administrators, you know, I was looking at this one thing back when I was teaching, guys. The administrators in the school system, for every dollar that the state was giving that school system, this is no joke, the kids were seeing about 10 cents. 10 cents, if it was that. Which what's happening is the money was not, come on, back over. So the money was not being spent on the students. The money, for the most part, was being spent on these high salaries these guys were paying themselves. Or they were approving. It's a mess, man. And these were black school systems, man. These are black school systems. So, you know, a lot of us, you know, and we talk about this stuff, man. We talk about black people and they doing us bad. No, man. We're doing this stuff to ourselves, man. There's no way in 2025 that you can sit around and you can complain that racism and all that stuff is stopping you from doing what you're supposed to do. Stop. You know, we can't do it, guys. We can't do it. You got to quit thinking about that stuff, man. The more you think about it, yeah, keep thinking about it, you give it power over you. We got to, I mean, yeah, go get it, buddy. A lot of the stuff that, I mean, we're doing this to ourselves, guys. I'm telling you, man. You know, and I know I done went on a diatribe. I'm kidding. In the black community, man, our family structure is decimated. We don't have, I'm telling you, man, there's probably about, you might have 80% of African Americans being raised without their biological father. Maybe even more than that now. I'm just, the women, there's no more shame, or women out here just girls' night out, girls' trips and stuff like that. They engage in all kind of dysfunction and debauchery that you can never want to think of. I mean, it's a mess, man. You can't tell them nothing. They wear anything. And then you know, if the wrong guy look at them, they got a problem with it. The right guy look at it, if Pookie or Ray Ray look at them, you know, with all that stuff they be wearing, oh, that's okay. But when you put clothes on, you can't determine, you can't determine who looks at you. You know? But it's just, man, I tell you what, man, we got and like you know, I sit here and just trying to study how we gonna fix this problem, guys. How we gonna fix it? I just don't have any solutions, because what has to happen, I think, this is just my opinion now, so don't think that, you know, this is my opinion. I think that the only way that you can fix this is that the older generation of women, because see, the women not gonna listen to the men, but the men ain't gonna tell them the right thing anyway, because the men are really concerned about access to sex. That's what the men are thinking about. They're not thinking about trying to get them to act right and do right morally and things like that. Even preachers and stuff, I guess, you know, especially. But I think the only way that you can fix this is that the younger generation of girls are being trained by the older generation of women. You know, from day one. They need to instill morals in them. But the problem is, guys, here's another problem. The problem is most of the women today especially in the black community, they done either busted up their family, they done divorced their husband because they didn't like the way he make them feel. And once they busted up that family, they back out here on the market trying to find a husband after they done been out there. And so they're not even trying to find a husband. Get him here. And these women are in direct competition for husbands. They competing with the younger women. So they're not gonna train the younger women or tell the younger women, hey guys, y'all women need to do this right here. Y'all need to quit doing this. You need to quit wearing this right here. Don't wear this right here. Don't do this right here. They're not gonna tell them that, guys. They in competition. You know. So with that being said, man, there is no fix for this, right? Like I said, I think this thing has just got to play out, man. It's just got to play out the way it is. It's unfortunate. Come on, give me that ball. Yeah, it's gonna have to play out. It's gonna have to play out, and we're gonna have to see. We gotta see this thing get really, really bad. Before it gets better. And guys, and that's why I tell my students, man, do not align yourself with any, racism and just because, somebody a different color, different religion, or different gender, and man, don't, a true capitalist, which I feel that I am, we don't care nothing about all that stuff. We don't care nothing about all this goop that they put in our head. Got us warring with each other, fighting each other. The true capitalist, man, I don't give a doggone what color you are, who you are. If you can bring me value, or if you can show me value, I'm gonna use you, buddy. But if you can't, I don't care if you black and you don't finish the job, or you don't show value, or I don't see value in what you're doing, I gotta cut you loose. And so, this is where we at, man. And so I sit here and walk this path with my dog, and guys, as an entrepreneur, I'm back to the entrepreneurship again. I sit down and I try to figure out solutions for things, especially in business. In my business, if I'm building and stuff, I'm always trying to devise a correction. If things go wrong, things don't always, especially in building, guys, things don't ever go, you don't ever really get things going 100% as planned. Come on. I don't know, guys. I think I done ran out of information. I don't have anything else I'm thinking about. All right, guys. It's another one. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. This is me again. I'm still on my morning walk. Guys, I just thought about something. Builders, and I was kind of talking about this earlier. I was saying that I'm a true capitalist. True capitalists don't care about color, race, and all that stuff. What they care about is that we can all work together and we can all make money. Let's go this way, buddy. We can all do well and we can grow our wealth. That's what a capitalist, that's the mindset of a capitalist. And what I just thought about is that I have never met a builder. And guys, you can't see me right now, but I'm an African American. But I have never met a builder, guys, that I've asked questions and reached out to here in Alabama that was not willing to help me. No matter what color that builder is. Black builders, white builders, female builders. And I just thought about that, man. I have not met not one, every builder that I talk to, these guys are capitalists. They pull together a group of subcontractors. They get out here and they work, they grind. And now I'm not saying that there are no racist builders out here. There may be. I'm sure there probably is. There's always something to something. But I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama, guys, and I'm part of the Home Builders Association. And man, I tell you what, every time I meet a builder, man, I saw one on my street just the other day, man. And man, we could have sat there and talked for hours. I had to cut it short because I said, man, I could talk to this guy for hours, sharing knowledge, sharing information, sharing ideology. How did we deal with customers? Man, I called one last week, man. I tell you what, man, that guy, Harwell, hey, man, I appreciate you. If you ever hear this video, man, I appreciate you. He explained to me how he engaged and deal, because I ran through an issue with my homeowner, and he explained to me how he deal with his homeowners, and he had a 7-step protocol that he does with his homeowners. And guys, I've been building over 20 years, and I felt like I was a new builder listening to him. He broke it all down. It was just so much to absorb. I was like, man, we got to do a podcast or something, but man, these guys were just so helpful, man. So we enter into a time where, like I said, man, we're in some really weird times where you got people that are making, Donald Trump came in and he signed a whole lot of executive orders from day one. And people are just they are going insane. But you know what I realized? This country has been out of order for so long until when you finally introduce order back to this country, the people will look at that as something that's wrong. It's the same. I mean, I'm telling you, man, and people do that, man. Some people get out of order for so long until if you introduce order to them. And I mean, an example would be the black race. How you doing? We're out of order. How you doing? Our race is out of order, and we have been out of order for so long until if you introduce order to us, it seems wrong. If you tell us when you talk, you need to use correct English. We think, oh man, you trying to be a sellout. Oh, you do this, that, and the other. Or if you believe in capitalism, oh man, what, you trying to be white? How you doing? This is our mindset. Or, having just even something as small as having a nuclear family. Father, strong father, how you doing? The mother, under his authority with the kids. I ain't finna do that. This is the black community. We're so out of order until now when you have somebody that's actually trying to introduce order and put that back into us. We think that system is crazy. This is where we are, guys. This is where we are. And you can't get us to see it any other way. And I really realize, man, that a lot of these people that we have out here, man, it's gonna take them years to figure this out. Because a lot of people that we're dealing with, they have this mindset, and these mindsets, they are low information thinkers. Don't take this the wrong way. They don't have enough information to gather in order to make good decisions on what's going on. They just can't. They don't have enough knowledge, enough information. They close themselves off to information. Because if you got enough information, why would I want a transgender person to play sports? Why would I want to send my money to other countries? You know, why would I make it harder here in order to do business? You know, why would I want to keep borrowing money from the Federal Reserve? By the way, it's not federal. Why would I want to keep doing that and cause more inflation to where people can't afford to buy eggs? Because you flood the market with money, and once again, the more money you have out there floating around, that devalues or debases the money that's already out there. Why would we want to do that? See, that's out of order. And so when somebody come in and try to pivot and say, hey, let's get this thing back right again, they get mad at them. You know, it's like a coach. They go, you know, you got a team. I remember the movie Coach Carter. You know, the team was out of order. He come in here and introduce order to that team. Heck, he had 2 or 3 players that just quit right off the bat. So I'm not gonna deal with this. And this is where we're at, guys. And, you know, so, and I'm not just, you know, guys, I'm just saying that we gotta let this stuff go and we gotta start working together as people. You know, let this guys, if that DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, guys, if you implement that, you're actually discriminating against the people who are competent. So if you got a business and you have a competent person and you have a non-competent person, but that non-competent person is transgender, and that non-competent person, since they're transgender, over somebody that's competent and that's the best qualified, well, you just discriminate against that person that's the best qualified. And guys, what this diversity, equity, inclusion really, for the most part, helps white women and transgenders. You know, just like the affirmative action and all that kind of stuff, that was hijacked. The civil rights movement was hijacked by different people who weren't black, or different ideologies and stuff like that who weren't black. These are the people it's supposed to help. It was supposed to try to help black men, but it didn't. Come on, let's go. Guys, we gotta let it go. Gotta figure this thing out. All right, guys, that's it for today.